Man, I feel like this mic is way too close. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Player Prop Talk live stream here on the channel. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. If you're new to the stream or new to the channel, let me know in the chat, but appreciate you being here. We're talking player props. We're breaking down some plays, maybe build a slip out for PrizePicks, and then we'll call it a day. Appreciate you being here. Hope your Tuesday went well. Hope your Tuesday night was good. Hope your tacos were good. I think they all hit. Roneo Blanco hits. McKenzie hits. Hey, if that Tyler Miggle hit, if that Tyler Miggle was the taco, he would have smashed that by 200%. I think he finished with 8 strikeouts. So that would have been a good one. Also, you could have played that as is and got the over on his prop, took the under on his hits, over on his, strikeouts, and call it a day. Guy had a good game. Hashtag bless on the screen as we start off another day with the most morbid intro that I could imagine for a live stream. We talk about death. Just get it out the way. It's going to happen at some point. Hopefully it didn't happen last night to you. You're on the stream, listening, watching this. Over 10% of the U.S. population will die in their sleep. It's pretty morbid, right? But if you're hearing this, seeing this, you did not. So hashtag blessed. Many, I'm gonna read this paragraph out loud. Most of the deaths are attributed to heart attack or cardiac arrest, and it is believed that many thousands of people actually die because they had obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. So heart attacks, cardiac arrest, or OSA. Nothing about homicide in there. So there's a bright spot. Natural causes, I guess. Damn, still pretty morbid. Hashtag blessed. You woke up today. Do something cool today. Hey, you're on the stream watching this. You're off to a good start. I like that fact. I thought it was more, actually. When I first looked this up, I thought it'd be more people, but 10%, still a pretty strong number. What's going on, Mark? Good morning to you. Yeah, insane case for Mijil. And we move on. Let's keep this going. Attitude today. We talk about attitude a lot. Well, I do on this channel. So I think attitude is super important in life, not just in life, but when we're talking about player props, attitude is key. Every day is a new day. Every day is another day to make it a good day, to be honest with you. What happened last night, win or lose, is over. It's done. You move on. So I got to be able to have the right attitude day in and day out. I found this to be very appropriate for this morning, trying to figure out, what my attitude would be today. I choose my attitude every day because I will not allow other people to choose my attitude for me. I will not allow the outside world, the outside interference to tell me how to feel, what to feel. So that's a shitty thing, not to have control over your own attitude. So if the only thing you get to choose today and have control over today is your attitude, that's pretty good one right there. My attitude today is all about intention. How you do small things is how you do all the things. Stay focused, put as much effort into those small things that you will into the big things. If you ever met somebody who is kind of person that's like, I don't know, maybe you've worked with a person like, well, if they paid me more, I do more kind of person, probably want to distance yourself from that person now, to be honest with you, because that person just wants to collect and not, they just want to receive and not give. So it's hard to relate to people like that long term. So Trying not to associate with those motherfuckers. But how you do small things is how you do all the things. Staying focused, especially with player props, right? You put in the time with the research, you put in the time cooking up in a lab, you know, that grows into something bigger. You know, how you do your breakdowns, how you do all the things with player props, like how you build a slip. Yeah, all those small things add up, you know, and you're doing all the work for those little things, you know, obviously good things will come, in my opinion. So my attitude for today is all about intention, doing the right things, doing the small things, like I do all the things. Speaking of doing all the things, here's a thing you can do right now if you have not yet. Sign up for BETR using my QR code, scan it. If you're watching this on your laptop, your flat screen, your plasma, your iPad, get your phone out, scan that QR code, sign up using my QR code. Deposit match up to $250. Pretty good deal. However, man, I was having a nice little conversation with one of my Discord members yesterday. We're kind of going over the different pick'em sites, where to play, and I was letting them know that BETR is really becoming one of my favorite pick'em sites. They do it right. They do it right, and they one thing I noticed later on that I didn't realize at the beginning, there are no flat numbers on BETR. Everything's 0.5. So the hooks, there are no hooks with BETR, which is a small thing, you know, to notice, but it's a big thing in your slips to not get hooked, to not get a push. I should say to not get a push. So no push potential on BETR. Everything's a 0.5. When we are breaking down our plays today, I'm sure we'll come across some flat numbers and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's a small thing. It goes a long way when building out your slips, as does this Kyrie Irving promo. 0.5, 0.5 promo, 0.5 points promo. Take the over on this one, pair it up with another play that you like to at least 2x that. I believe it's a 2x or 3x, I believe. If you, 3x. Or you can go with the 3 pick and go for a 5x on this promo. You can't just play the promo by itself. That's not going to work. That's not how pick'em sites make their money. You're going to have to pair this up. So maybe you find a play that you like in today's live stream, and you can pair it up with something we talk about today. I shared my Vladimir Guerrero promo pick. Now, BETR also has a promo on Shohei Ohtani, Jose Ramirez, and Vladimir Guerrero. I chose Vladdy because I like his fantasy score today, and BETR is running a 0.5 total base prop on him. So I shared that in the Discord earlier this morning. Put it in a 3 pick. Gonna try to 5x that one. Speaking of the Discord, you want to get in, you got 3 ways to do so. 10-day pass, $9.99, $1 a day. You can go for the full month, $19.99 for the full month. You can knock it out for the full year, save 20% off the full year. I will say that if you are a member of my previous Discord, if you were a member of my previous free player prop Discord, you will receive a 10% up to 15% discount on your monthly subscription. Not just the first month, but all the recurring months. So take advantage of that. Shoot me a DM and let's talk shop. But today we're going to move on to some plays. Today is Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. We're talking PrizePicks, underdog, jock market, the aforementioned BETR. We can talk sleeper, hot streak. Wherever you play your props, we can break them down here on the stream. We'll use props.cash to do it. Thanks25 is my promo code. Go ahead and sign up using that. I get a little something out of that too. So I'm not going to lie. I am providing this code as a way for you to save money, but I also get something from it too. So Thanks 25% off your first month over on props.cash. Sign up for the Discord. Sign up for a 10-day pass. Sign up for a month. Then go and sign up on props.cash, right? And then make your money back and then some within the first 24 hours of joining my Discord. Get your ROI on for sure. All right. We're going to transition over to the PrizePicks dashboard right now. Now, we do talk all player props from multiple pick'em sites. It doesn't have to be PrizePicks, but the reason we use PrizePicks on the stream is because it just looks good, presents well, pretty. It's pretty universal. I think everybody knows PrizePicks dashboard. So we start off using PrizePicks. However, from here we can talk about any player prop you want. Build out a slip, maybe 2 slips if we have enough time. Let's go. Have not popped into the chat yet. What's going on, T? Will Angel Reese get Tim Boris tonight? I took her under 9.5. Tough matchup. Siri hurt me. And so I said his name and then my phone started lighting up. Siri hurt me and stole a double from Suzuki yesterday. We move on. Oh man. Hey, that Ohtani play worked. We talked about the over home runs for Ohtani, right? I think we're probably not the only ones, right? As I did my research throughout the day, Ohtani home run prop was one of the more favorable home run props on the boards. But we talked about this cadence of his. Every 5 games, he hits a home run. Home run, goes 4 games, no home run, then hits a home run. That's now happened 3 times this season. So I guess we'll wait 4 more games and take his home run prop again. That one worked out. So if you put that in a slip, that shit hit for you. If you play over on FanDuel and you were doing the Dinger Tuesday and you went with Ohtani, then that worked out for you. Pick'em sites will not let you just take one prop. You got to pair it up at least. So I paired my Ohtani prop up with MJ Melendez, who proceeded to go 0 for 4. And then I also paired him up with Ellie De La Cruz, who did shit. So my home run props did not work out for me, but the Ohtani one did. So if you put that in a slip, hopefully it helped you cash out. That was a fun one. In hindsight, I probably should have just went with Aaron Judge. He cannot stop hitting home runs. I'm probably done taking the under on his fantasy score. I don't really care what the books say and how well it's grading out. It's getting a little ridiculous now, so I'm not gonna mess around with that one anymore. It's like just lighting your money on fire. It really is. Yeah. How do you fade him? Honestly, I'll fade Judge just because when I see his numbers favoring the under, I just fade it, just because I'm not going to play the under on it and watch him go over. If I see numbers favoring his over, then I feel better about that one. But I'm learning to just stay away from player props. I'm not missing out on anything. You're not missing out. Don't have FOMO with player props. You miss a player prop, there'll be another one the same day that you can take advantage of. So, I mean, people are really hammering the under on Judge's fantasy score because it's getting high. I mean, usually your fantasy scores are between 7.5 to 8.5, maybe 9.5 for like your top players. And now that it's creeping into 11, the math at some point says take the under. I know what the math says, but the math has been wrong the last week and a half for Aaron Judge. So at that point, I just stay away from it because the math is failing me. Fuck it. I'm just gonna stay away from it. All right. I think that's part of player props too. Is it's not about picking the right plays. Sometimes it's just avoiding certain plays, just being more confident in how you build a slip out. I think that's really helped me out over the last few months. Let's pull up that Angel Reese. Let's start off with those rebounds for her. Looking to take the under versus the Connecticut Sun. Our wagon, Alyssa Thomas, is on the other side. Drew Holiday's PRA. Drew Holiday's rebounds were popping for the under in a lot of places. But, man, when I went to go look at his rebounds throughout the playoffs, he has just been on another level with these rebounds. I mean, last 5 games, and we're seeing some Jason Tatum type games here. 9, 9, 11. I mean, 8 is not bad either, but you got 3 games where he's basically, in these 3 games, he's averaging almost 10 rebounds a game. 29, 37. I mean, almost 10 rebounds over the last 4. At some point, this production will have to come down a little bit. I guess the books are just projecting it to come down because Porzingis is back in the lineup and you still have Jason Tatum who's grabbing rebounds. But, you know, Jason Tatum, I like the over on his rebounds. We locked this in a few days ago. I mean, but in these games where Holiday is getting you 9 rebounds, Jason Tatum is also getting you 10 plus. So it's not like Jason Tatum has a good game, Drew Holiday doesn't. It's a long game. There's a lot of missed shots. There's a lot of rebound opportunities. It's not all going to one player. So I was really struggling with why this one was getting heavy juice for the under. Now at 6.5, it's been bumped down to 6. So, you know, if you're looking to play the over on his rebounds, it looks even better for you because it's a lower line. Shit, I said at the beginning of this series that Derek White was my dark horse for Finals MVP if the Celtics win. Right now, it's looking like Drew Holiday is that guy. You know, back-to-back game. I mean, these numbers are crazy. So maybe it's Drew Holiday. I don't know. Maybe Drew Holiday can sneak in there and get Finals MVP if the Celtics hold off to win. Gafford's points and rebounds. Gafford's points were something that we took a look at last game. I think they were at 7.5. He crushed that. He doubled up. I think he finished with 14 points. And now his line has been bumped up to 8.5. 10.5 is a pretty big jump. That's a pretty big jump for Gafford. At 10.5 points for him. He's done it 3 of his last playoff games. When the line was 7.5, he would have cleared that twice. Now that it's been bumped up to 8.5, it's going to show that he has an under. As this line moves up, it will change the hit rate for the last 5. So what you always see with last 5, last 10 isn't the way it's always been. It's just going to fluctuate based off that day's line. What's going on, Ryan? Armendariz. Derek Jones, PRA, quietly went over last game and plays better at home. I know during the regular season, we find different filters to look at. You know, we're always trying to find an edge. But I think in the playoffs, when we... Derek Jones is not on the board on PrizePicks. I think in the playoffs where, you know, as you get down to fewer and fewer teams, I think the home court advantage is a real thing. It's more of a real thing in the playoffs where, like, in a regular season, game 30 at home does not feel like game 5 of the Western Conference, Eastern Conference finals at home. That's not the same thing. So I think looking at a player's home away splits in the playoffs is is pretty real. Doesn't mean they'll always go out there and do better at home, but I feel like it's more of a thing in the playoffs. So I will spend a few extra minutes looking at the home and away and just kind of figuring out like what the trend is and what we can exploit. So right now, Derek Jones, what he has on the board are rebounds, points and rebounds, points and assists. Points and assists are usually the more popular play for plays that are so close because it's the lower line usually, and you're really just hoping this guy gets you the line on points alone. Like if Derek Jones goes out and scores, 10 points and he has a 10.5 points and assist prop, now he only needs 1 assist. He has only gone over 10 points in 2 games, but at 9 points, if he got you 9 points today, then he would need 2 assists. Points and rebounds is the higher number, but he would definitely need 3 rebounds here. If he's going to get you 9 points, he would need 4 rebounds, actually. We can take a look at his points and rebounds. There's no PRA for him on PrizePicks. What's up, Damien? Who's our star play? Is it Drew Holiday? My goodness, man. This... It's not Drew Holiday. Who's our star play? Gafford. Is it Angel Reese? Angel Reese is a star? I mean, she's a future star, but I don't see any stars around these motherfuckers. I may need to refresh my PrizePicks. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Angel Reese under rebounds. Drew Holiday over PRA. Gafford over points and rebounds, and then Derek Jones over points and rebounds. It's Drew? Okay. Gotcha. So it's just not showing on oh, hold on. I guess it's just not showing. What's up, Big Icy? Good morning. Hit those like buttons on the way in. Means a ton. All right, let's head on over to Daniel Padina. Holiday's a star. All right, let's head over to props.cash and start breaking down these plays for today, Wednesday, June 12th, 2024. Let me see what blogs are up. We have no blogs up yet. It's all right. We'll write our own damn blog. One WNBA play. Let's start with the NBA. We'll save. Actually, no. We'll do the Angel Reese first because that was literally the first prop that we put on the board. So let's look at Angel Reese's rebounds today. Oh, there is one other rebound prop that I want to walk through, but it's only available on Sleeper. So let's look at this Reese rebounds at 9.5. 4 straight games of overs. With 10 plus in all 4 games. 5 out of her last 6 she's crushed. Only one matchup so far versus the Connecticut Sun, and she did finish with 5 rebounds. Today she's projected for roughly 10. When you look at the books, you're getting pretty meh kind of odds. ESPN Bet and DraftKings do like the over, but you're still getting minus 110 and minus 115 juice to the under. And then you literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 books that are just splits. So you're not really getting a whole lot of support to either side. In fact, with just those two books liking the over by just what, 10 points, 5 points. I feel like this one you can go either way on. For a play like this, I don't really know what you would look to give you the the push. I mean, you could look to her game logs and say, this is what she's doing. She's on a roll. You can also look to her head to head and say, they stopped it. They stopped at that game. Tough matchup. All these books have it at 9.5. I mean, it would probably depend on the juice coming in to see if this one got bumped up to 10. But I think people would more likely play the over on this one because they're going to look at the last 5 games and see this and just slam the over. That's a tough one, to be honest. Is there anything else that stands out that we could use instead? Not really. Her points. I mean, her points look okay. She did go over points last game. She had 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. So that's what, 20 PRA. Today, her PRA line is 23.5. I don't know. Maybe find her PRA out there and go under on that one too. Because if the Sun are able to slow down her rebounds today, she's going to have to make up for it with points or assists. So over the last 5 games, she hasn't really been doing a whole lot of dishing. And then over the last 5 games, the points are there. Upside is 16, but you know, 13 is within range too. She got you 13 points, you know, 6 rebounds and 2 assists. I mean, that's 22 PRA. Still not over her PRA for today. Yeah, that one's a tough one because it's kind of like in no man's land with the odds, and you just got to go with either the odds. Like the odds feel like they're saying maybe, 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 maybe. In my mind, when somebody tells me maybe, that's a no. Right? Like if somebody tells me maybe, that's a fucking no. Like yes is yes. Like, do you want to do this or not? Maybe. Fuck off. I don't have time for maybes. So when I see those like 130 to each side, those are maybes. To me, that's a no. So I feel like the under, you just chalk it to an under, in my opinion. Those maybes suck, man. I just, what is that shit? Maybe. Do you or do you not want to do this? All right. Let's take a look at Jrue Holiday. Jrue. So Jrue, 24.5 PRA. You're getting 1, 2, 3 books that like the over on this one on FanDuel, Caesars, and BetMGM. With DraftKings is the only book that is taking more action for the under on this one. He is projected for 27 PRA. Now, this is what Jrue Holiday has done in the playoffs. So we have a few different filters we can take a look at. So let's go ahead and check out playoffs. These are all playoff games. We'll go 15 playoff games out. He did not start off the playoffs on the hottest of notes. Now, I don't know what his PRA line was here. I damn sure am willing to bet that it wasn't 24.5. It was probably in under 20, to be honest with you. Probably in that 19.5, 18.5 PRA range. So it's possible that he did go over these 3 games. So it would look a lot better. But now that it's been bumped up to 24, it's going to change the hit rate. So this is what he's done over the last 15 playoff games. Now, when we filter by games at home, he has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games over, and then it's showing that he has 5 games under. In the away games, fantastic. So the sample size is a bit smaller for the away games, but you're still looking at a 6 of 8 hit rate there. I mean, oof, that's strong. It's really hard to argue with. You're getting positive projections. You're getting very strong game logs. If you want to dip out of the playoffs and just check out what he's done against the Mavericks during his life, going back to 2022, these are playoff games, but these are not. So 50% in games that aren't playoffs. And then when you combine the playoffs, you're looking at a 67% hit rate. You got 3 books that like the over, only 1 book that likes the under. So you're gonna get good odds. 3 out of 4 books like this one for the over. You're getting good projections, and then you're getting favorable game logs in and out of the playoffs versus the Mavericks, home and away. His rebounds at 6.5, we're getting crazy numbers to the under, right? Minus 138, 142, 166, and 145. This is definitely something to pay attention to. But when I was trying to figure out where this is coming from, because the odds are based off something, right? It's all math, but the math is based off what? It's not a fucking theory. It's a fact. We're basing the numbers are on facts. Well, the facts say that 4 out of his last 6 games versus Dallas, he's crushed. The facts say that in his last 10 playoff games, he's crushed. He has a 70% hit rate. The facts say that 4 out of 5 playoff games, he has an 80% hit rate. I mean, this is what's happening. So I'm trying to figure out where that juice is coming from or why it's coming in. If the odds makers feel like it's because Porzingis is back and Porzingis is pulling rebounds away, Porzingis has been back for 2 games and it hasn't hurt Holiday at all. Porzingis averaging 5 rebounds in these 2 games. And you have, where's Backtat? You have Porzingis averaging 5 rebounds per game. You have Jason Tatum averaging 10 rebounds per game. All right, that's 15 rebounds already off the board. Jaylen Brown averaging 5. Derek White. It's probably hurt Derek White a little bit. And Drew Holiday in those 2 games averaging roughly 9 rebounds. So I don't understand what's keeping this number under, but that's what the odds say. So you want to side with the odds on the under for his rebounds. It's pretty convincing. There are 4 books that just do not like the over at all. It's just really difficult for me to see how this plays out. My whole rule here is if I can't figure out how this is going to work, I don't like to blindly play a play. If I can't see it happening, I'll just stay away from it. So I'm probably going to stay away from his under on his rebounds. And it does correlate if you like the over on his PRA. So you have a couple of different options there. You might just want to go ham and just take the over on all his player props. I think that's a little irresponsible. But as long as you're getting favorable odds, you know the game logs are going to be there for you and the projections are. So you're just waiting on the odds to match. The odds look good here. PRA also. Rebounds and assists could also be something you look at. If you're under the mindset that, hey, his production is unsustainable, at some point it's got to come down, then you probably just take the under or stay away from it. But, I mean, this is pretty impressive numbers. All right, we're done with Drew Holiday. Let's take a look at Derrick Jones. We were trying to look at his PRA, but we can't on PrizePicks because it doesn't exist. So we'll have to pivot over to his PR or RA. Well, usually when you see a PRA separated by 1 from the PR, that PRA will get taken off, just because he could probably get this on just points and rebounds, right? So they probably don't even put it on the board. So his PR, 102 to the over, 125 to the under. He's gone over in 3 of his last 5 games. Says he plays better at home. That's 4 straight playoff games of going over at home. On the road, I mean, he was able to squeak that one out last game, but prior to that, he was 0 for 4 in those playoff games. Odds, yeah, the odds on this one aren't really favoring the over. So we can look to his points and assists. Now, his points and assists, slightly better odds at, well, actually, this is incorrect, right? Because on PrizePicks, his points and assists are 11.5. Or no, his PrizePicks has his points and assists at 10.5. All right, cool. So 10.5, you're getting 112 to the over, 113. And then BetMGM liked it at 9.5. So not the best odds here. You're not getting a lot of information here. Projected for 11 points and assist. So this is all on the road, right? Now he's back at home. In his last 5 playoff games, let's fix that. Let's make sure it's playoffs. All right, so in his last 5 home playoff games, 4 out of 5. I mean, that's over PRA, RA, PA. Same thing here. That's damn near over PR, but it's definitely over PA. And then here, 9 points. He goes well over PR, and then he goes well over PA. So yeah, we talk about the difference in playing at home and on the road in the playoffs. I think in the playoffs, it's significant. It's definitely something to pay attention to when you're trying to figure out an edge for a player prop. I think that's one for Derek Jones. Who was the other one? Gafford? It was Gafford over PR. All right, so same thing. Playoffs for Gafford at home. 3 of his last 5 games, he has gone over this line. Now his line's been bumped up to 14.5. So it doesn't really change his hit rates at all. Just means he has to do a little bit more to get it done today. On the road in the playoffs, doesn't really make a difference, right? I mean, last 5 road games for Gafford, he's averaging 19 points and rebounds, and then in his last 5 home games, he's averaging 15. So both of those numbers gets it done today. That's a strong line. Now his odds at 14.5, not getting the best. So at 13.5, minus 130 on FanDuel. BetMGM at 14.5 likes the over, but there is a little bit of something to the under. Very similar numbers on Caesars. And then DraftKings slightly. So you are getting positive odds, I guess, but it's ugly. It's like a D-, right? You passed, but yeah, barely. That's what I feel like those odds are, D-. But it's hard to argue with those home playoff records or the home playoff stats for Gafford. Yeah, so that one does make sense to me. All right, Angel Reese under rebounds. That one's a little scary just because you're not getting a lot of support from the books. So you have to go by game logs or just go by the game versus Connecticut Sun she had a month ago, where she did finish with just 5. If you're skeptical about this one, then we'd even look to see if her PRA was up on PrizePicks. It is. So if you're skeptical about Angel Reese's rebounds, like, I don't know, she's been on a roll, she's crushing, then you can look to take the under on her PRA because she's not doing a whole lot of assisting. She's going to pretty much have to do this with points and rebounds. If you're already on the fence about her rebounds, you don't think she gets 10, but you wouldn't be surprised if she got 10. If she finishes with 6, 7 rebounds, I mean, she needs 13 points at that point to get close to this, and then she has to give you a couple of assists. So maybe the under on her PRA is the best way to go. Hard to argue with Jrue Holiday because of his production. This entire playoffs, he's been on fire. Gafford looked good at home. We looked at that one. Jones over as well. So, I mean, I think all of these are in a good spot, even though if the odds are just kind of like, eh. I think the home court shift to Dallas tonight makes a difference. I hope they lose, but I hope it's a competitive game. I hope they lose and we go over on player props. That's what I ultimately want, is the Celtics to win and we still go over on Dallas props. So that's my wish. All right, let's move on. What is going on? What's going on, Drip? Oh, T says I think he's gonna have a hot head, might get in trouble trying to fight Alyssa Thomas. Uh, 24. Oh, Kyrie for 24, Jason Tatum for 20, Connecticut Sun 7.5. Oh, nice. Nice. Kristaps has to have limited minutes for what, Holiday to not go over? Or are you asking if he's still on minutes restriction? I didn't even check to see that. Is he really? Is it really his birthday? Oh, man. That's hard to take the under on birthday boys, right? Fuck. I hate superstitious shit like that. I really do. I wish I didn't know, but man, it's player props, man. It's player props. Fuck. All right. Let's see. Kyrie Irving for 24, Tatum 20. I don't know about money lines. Connecticut Sun, you think what, Connecticut Sun don't lose by more than 7.5 or win by more than 7.5? Is that what you're playing, the money line? All right, let's clear this out. Let's clear the board out. I'm assuming the KY is Kyrie. So this is a three pick parlay. And then Tatum's points were at what, 20 oh no. So Kyrie for 24, Jason Tatum with 20. Jason Tatum with 20 what? Wait, did I miss another comment? No. Oh, the spread. Yeah. Gotcha. Jason Tatum with 20 what? 20 points for Jason Tatum? Or rebounds and assists? Like, what's I don't want Jaylen Brown in there. What the hell is that? Do y'all see this glitchy shit on PrizePicks right now? What the fuck, dude? Get off the screen, Jaylen Brown. Bro. PrizePicks is like, no, play Jaylen Brown right now. No, man. Get this dude off my screen. with his tiny ass little braids. All right, let's see if we can do this again, because me just trying to pull up Jason Tatum anything was just like, no, you mean Jaylen Brown? I don't. Nope. You sure? Yep. Let's see. Probably RA. Jason Tatum RA is not a thing on PrizePicks. Oh, 15.5. If you're playing Jason Tatum at 20 points, that, I mean, I don't know where that is. If you're playing it at 50, if you're playing it at 20, obviously that's a great line. I mean, the thing about these like same game parlays is the lines are different than what the pick'em sites have. So we can't get like a very accurate read on the odds, because those odds are way different than pick'em site odds. But I mean, what we can do is filter out the points and just see how many games Jason Tatum has hit, you know, that line. I'm assuming it's points at 20. Is it a promo or something? I would say that, I mean, or maybe not, because it's not like he has been going over 20 with regularity. Now, these are home playoff games, so let's just look at playoffs and like overall. So last 5 playoff games, 3 over, 2 under. Last 10, he's gone over 20 like almost in every game. He's 0 for 2 versus Dallas, and that does include playoff games. That is playoff games. If we go away games for Jason Tatum, last 5 playoff games on the road, I mean, the lowest he's scored in the last 5 games is 20. He's gotten you almost 30 in each game. He's averaging 30. Last 10 playoff games on the road, he has an 80% hit rate. I mean, if I'm reading that correctly, Jason Tatum over 20 points seems like a mistake. It seems like an error. I would play the over on that one, unless I'm just missing something here. Now, his points are at 26.5 on PrizePicks, so like if his points were at 24, that would make a little bit more sense to me, because it's closer to the current line of 26. But that would change up the hit rate over his last 10, but not over his last 5 on the road. His last 5 on the road, he's giving you 30 points. So I don't know. If you're finding his point prop in the same game parlay or on a book, and they're giving it to you at 24 or 20 or whatever, I think that's an over. Kyrie, he's already at 23.5. So we're going to look at his numbers at home. Over his last 5 playoff games, he's failed to go over this in 4 out of 5 games. Do we even care about his last 10 at home? He's gone over in 30% of those. Well, not even 30%. 3 out of 3, 6, 7, 8. If his points were at 20, that would make a lot of sense to me, because that's closer to his current line of 23. Last 10 home playoff games, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8, and then last 5 home playoff games, 3 out of 5. That to me would make more sense, but yeah, those lines seem backwards to me. Jason Tatum for just 20 and Kyrie for 24. I feel like Kyrie should be at 20 and Tatum should be at 24. But I mean, if they're giving Tatum at 20 points, that's an over. The Kyrie one, I don't know. 24 is a big number. He's not doing it at home. 27.5. Which one's? Oh, Marina Mayberry's points. What was 27.5? Mayberry's points were at 27.5? No way. Nuh-uh. That's like Asia Wilson points. 14.5. Oh, Tatum was. Gotcha. So Tatum was at 27.5. They bumped it down to 26.5. Man, but if a book or a same game parlay is giving you 20 for Tatum, that's a hell of a line. That's a promo line. That's a taco. Kyrie has not been scoring a whole lot. That's the one I'd worry about. I think that point spread is strong though. Kyrie's the one out of those three that I feel not as confident on. BetMGM has Tatum at 26.5 at -125. Yeah, I mean 20, even 24 points for Jason Tatum. Even 24 points for Jason Tatum on the road in the playoffs, to me, feels wrong, feels low. So I'm on board with that one. All right, Mabry. Oh, I said there was one rebound prop I wanted to look at for the WNBA. So it's on Sleeper. Camila Cardoso. She had a 6.5 rebound prop on Sleeper. I don't know if it's still available on Sleeper, but it really was standing out to me because everywhere else they had her at 6 rebounds. You can see here it's at 6.5. At 5.5, Hard Rock, Bet Rivers, and ESPN Bet really like the over at 5.5, but at 6.5, it's a little bit of a different story. So you see all this juice coming into the over at 5.5. So then, PrizePicks has to bump that up to 6.5. And then everybody starts taking the under on it at 6.5. And then PrizePicks bumps it down to 6. It's a messy situation, but last 4 games, she has gone under this. There aren't 10 games to look at. There are no head-to-head games to look at. But last 4 games, she's just gone under 6.5. Even 6 is pretty damn close, but it's not the over. She's projected for 6, So that was one that was standing out to me. Now, this does kind of fuck with the Angel Reese line because if you wanted Angel Reese to go under on her rebounds, you kind of do want Cardoso to get you more than 6.5 rebounds because that's going to pull away from Angel Reese. Those will correlate. So I don't know, depending on what side of the fence you are on with Angel Reese, maybe you want Cardoso to go out there and get you 7+ rebounds because that's every rebound she gets is one that Angel Reese doesn't. So that was one for the WNBA that I was looking at that I did like. I wish it was at 6.5 on PrizePicks. Let's see. Okay, so MLB play. I wonder if my slip is still on the board. No, I already cleared that screen out. Damn it. I built out a PrizePicks slip and I had it on a different tab. I was just going to look at that real quick. Okay. I saw that the Bryce Terang play. I'll look at that one in a second. This is one that I built out earlier. I did share it in the Discord. I do want to look at Vlad over his fantasy points, fantasy score. Saying fantasy points for baseball sounds wrong. Fantasy score. And I wanted to kind of walk through the correlation here between Vlad, Bo Bichette, and Danny Jansen, since they're all on the same team. Depending on where they're batting today, this does not impact Vladimir at all. So when I was looking up his fantasy score today, he did sell me yesterday, man. I had the over on his total bases yesterday. And in true fashion, when this guy is in my slip, he just doesn't come through for me. So after I cried a little bit, I was ready to move on. But total bases, 2 straight games of not going over. That's just not doing anything in 2 straight games. Last 15 games, he has, I mean, in those 15 games, he had not gone 2 straight of getting 0 hits. This is the first time he's done that. Typically, when he lulls like this, he bounces back, right? Bounce back. So that's what we're hoping for here, a little bounce back. But looking at the over on his fantasy points, fantasy score, there are no numbers against Tobias Myers, so there's no BVP to look at for him. So we look at his right-handed pitching numbers, or numbers versus right-handed pitchers. Batting .290, pretty decent strikeout rate, keeping it under 20%, and the walk rate is fairly good, 11%. But what stood out to me were his numbers against right-handed pitching. Okay, .290, but 5 homers. 11 doubles. The power is down this season so far, but with what power he is displaying, most of that's coming against righties. Then when you take a look at what this Tobias Myers guy has done versus right-handed bats, like Vlad, 6 homers, 2 doubles, and 8 singles. So he's given up power. Most of Vladdy's power is coming against right-handed pitchers. So I love that correlation. I like his fantasy score today. So taking the under on Bo Bichette runs, if this kind of, if this lineup ends up being, let me pull up the projected starting lineup, at least the one that I saw earlier today. So, all right. So in the event that this is the lineup that the Blue Jays roll out today, then you got Schneider leading off with Horitz, then Vladdy 3, and then Bo Bichette and Jansen. So these are the 3 guys I have, right? So if Vladdy goes over fantasy score, I don't know what these guys do, but let's say they don't do anything. Vladdy goes up there and gets you a single. Let's say he does something, right? He's getting his points. Well, we got the under on Bo Bichette runs. So unless Bo Bichette hits a home run in his at bat, he's not going over that in his first at bat. If he doesn't get on base, then we don't have to worry about it. If he does get on base, here comes Danny Jansen. Then that means Danny Jansen would have to drive in Bo Bichette for Bo Bichette to go over his run. Then Danny Jansen would also go over his total bases at some point, right? So these 2 are correlated, but they don't impact Guerrero at all. So he can have a good game, and these 2 guys can have a subpar game, and you can all fit them into a slip. Or you can just play Guerrero's fantasy score and not care. And initially, I didn't want to play these 3 guys in the same slip because I needed to find out if Bo Bichette bats before Guerrero, then you kind of want Bo Bichette to do good because you need him to get on base to provide an RBI opportunity for Vladdy. So as long as Bo Bichette is batting after Vladimir Guerrero, I don't really give a shit. Vladdy's numbers are okay. Now this can change. This is only a projected lineup. It's very possible this changes, and if it does change, then maybe that slip doesn't do good. But I rolled the dice on that little 3 pick or that little trio there. Let's look up Bryce Terang, and then I do have Jake Bowers in there over a hit. So let's look up Bryce Terang. Let's see if we can find him on PrizePicks first. Damn, it's almost 10 o'clock. Holy shit, time flies. We'll also look up this Mabry points prop. All right, so Bryce Terang. Oh my God, so many. Fucking Bryce, what a name. Bryce Harper, Bryce Miller, Bryce Terang. Who the fuck else is in here? That dude is not on. Am I spelling his name correctly? Maybe I'm not. All right, here we go. Oh, no, why? Oh, okay, my bad. So we're looking at the over on his what? What were we looking at the over on? Let's see. Oh, under runs. Okay, got you. Under runs. All right, cool. So kind of the same thing, you know, we talk about taking the under on players' runs. If they're not getting on base, they're not scoring a run. That's number one. So, you know, you can look at what are the odds for him to get a hit? What are the odds for him to draw a walk? You know, how big of a chance is there for him to get on base? And then from there, it's hard to score a run if you're not getting on base. My boy Jake Bowers is no longer on the board. They took him off. Oh, there he is. So you got projected Terang leading off and then Jake Bowers batting 7th. Those two don't correlate, right? So, you know, Bowers can still get a hit, go over, doesn't really correlate with Terang scoring a run, you know. Like if Bowers batted 2nd and Terang batted 1st, if Terang got on base, you're like, all right, cool. And then here comes Bowers and gets a hit. And I'm like, hell yeah, he got his hit. But then he also drives in Terang. And you know what I'm saying? So the fact that they're separated by 5 batters, that's 2 different frames, 3 different frames, basically. It's hard for me to see Jake Bowers positively correlating with Terang in terms of driving him in. So you would probably be more concerned with guys like Ortiz or Perkins on a wraparound, or like, you know, Contreras and Yelich, maybe driving him in. If he's not on base, then it doesn't really matter. If he's not getting on base, then there's really not a whole lot to do there because you can't score a run from the dugout. So let's take a look at the underline. Well, let's look at Jake Bowers' total bases sitting at 0.5. A minus 129 to go over. Overall, this looks really good. There are some gaps in this game log, but overall, it's not too bad. He's got 5, 6, 7 bases in the last 10 games. Hits, he's got 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. He's projected for 1 hit today. He's projected for a base today, and that looks like it's a single. He's also projected for an RBI. His numbers against Chris Bassett are not anything to get too excited about, but he does have 2 singles. That's exactly what you need. You don't need anything else. Just get on base, bro. Bowers versus righties. That's a nasty strikeout rate there, 36%. Ugh. Ugh. That's gross. That shit is gross. Bowers versus righties. Lot of strikeouts, but hey, he's got 4 homers, okay? Chris Bassett versus lefties. This is where Chris Bassett is having some trouble this season. He's got above average 300 or above 300 batting average that he's allowing to lefties. He's also allowed 6 home runs. So we see this all the time in these splits. Pitchers allow home runs to one side of the plate, and that batter hits well from that side of the plate. So a home run will get it done today. If we look at Bryce Terang under his runs scored, so minus 125 to go over, 105 to go under. On this one, his projection for his run, there is no projection. You do have 3 books taking action on this one. All 3 like the over, almost identical odds. 127, 108, and then 125, 105, and 125, 105. So based off the odds, based off the numbers, he is projected to get you at least 1 run. His numbers versus lefties, another righty, his number versus righties, lefty-righty matchup though. No runs scored. Is this is accurate? He has yet to score a run? No. He's scoring runs up here. What's this? Why is that not? What am I doing wrong here? The dude has 5 runs in his last 5 games, but it's showing 0 runs. It's got to be a glitch. It's got to be an error. I guess runs just aren't computed and calculated. Okay. Never mind that number. This is accurate. 5 runs scored in 5 games. That's very misleading. He's going to get 4 plate appearances. He's leading off at home, so he should get 4 plate appearances. That's a tough one to take an under on, to be honest, just because you're getting a lot of information that's supporting the over. Unless you have like an inside take on this. It is a little scary too, because he's leading off, and then you got 3 monster bats. Contreras, Yelich. You're getting Adames coming up there, Frelick. You know, those are at least Contreras and Yelich. You got 2 monster bats coming up, and if he doesn't get on base, then yeah, you don't have anything to worry about. But if this guy draws a walk or he gets a single or something like that, you're like holding your breath. You're holding your breath on that one for sure. All right. Let's look up this Mabry points at 14.5. Man, that fucking McBride first half prop yesterday did not work out for her. She had like 30 first half points yesterday. What the hell is that? What the fuck was that? I mean, that's why every game is different. I mean, yes, that's probably not going to happen like a lot, but it happened yesterday, and I did not see that coming. She blew up in the first half. Our girl Ezzy, she went over barely, like by the skin of her teeth. I think her prop was 18.5 fantasy points. She finished with 18.6 fantasy points. You talk about that 0.5 bump being a big deal. Oof. Yikes. Yikes. All right, so Mabry over points. She's gone over in 60 of her last 10 and 5 games this year. She's projected for 15 points. When we look at the odds, we are getting slight juice to the under on Hard Rock, even on Bet Rivers, slight over on ESPN Bet. Weird odds on Fliff, but under is favored there. DraftKings likes the over. Bovada is giving you the under, and then PrizePicks, as always, is giving you splits. Numbers versus the Connecticut Sun. She has one game this season. She has one game this season versus the Sun where she did give you 20 plus. She got that going for you. Tough matchup here. Or tough matchup here. Tough-ish matchup there. Cake matchup barely goes over. And then here's another cake matchup. Are we seeing her perform way better against teams that are good? Or is it just not a big enough sample size? Like this game against Seattle, they shut her down. Dallas. Interesting. Either way, her odds are good. Her projections are good. Her odds are okay. They're not great. This game is at home, so does that make a difference? Last 5 home games, 3 out of 5. And then last 10 home games, not all these are this season. So the season starts here. So all you have is 5. So yeah, all you have is 5 home games. She is 3 out of 5. When she plays the Sun at home, you got 5 games there, 2 out of 5. Just trying to find different filters here. Doesn't really look like anything is standing out. All right. Mabry over. I'm a little skeptical on the Terang, honestly, just because that first batters 1 through 4 in that lineup are that's a tough first 4. And if he finds his way on base, you just got to hold your breath and hope that Contreras or Yelich doesn't bring him in. Bauer's over his total bases at 0.5. Though his strikeout rate is high, his power is up versus righties. And Bassett's numbers are in favor of that too. So there's another 3 for you. You can fit into a slip. All right, let's see what else we got before we head on out. Anything I missed? I am Chewy. What's up? I am Chewy. Good morning. Three plays have been bumped so far. For real? You got it, Drip. You got it. Bassett's. Oh, you got the Boba Shed in there too, Big Icy. All right, let's look up this Chris Bassett's 5.5 Ks. 5.5. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking of Pavetta. I thought Chris Bassett's strikeouts were at 6.5, and you're saying they're at 5. I was like, whoa, it dropped. No, I was looking at Pavetta earlier at 6.5. Got bumped down to 6. Ooh. All right, let's look at Chris Bassett though, because so if you are playing the under on Terang's runs, then this one does make sense to you, because you would love nothing more than for Chris Bassitt to start the inning off with 2 strikeouts or 3 strikeouts, because one of those would probably be Terang. Right? If he retires the side 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down, then Terang he's not getting on base. So you would like Chris Bassitt to start strong, because that would correlate well with a Terang under runs, and then you would like him to give up a single to Jake Bauers, and then we all celebrate our wins. Let's look at Chris Bassitt strikeouts though, because they're at 5.5. We can see if there's anything there we like. And I'm just gonna scroll. William Contreras fantasy score is making some moves. All right, so 3 straight games of 7 strikeouts. He's projected for roughly 6. This is closer to 6 than it is to 5. You don't have much support taking the over on this one. These are pretty like dismal odds. You have 2 books that like the under. Pinnacle likes the over, but I mean, you're talking about by millimeters there. Milwaukee's striking out 23% of the time versus right-handed pitching. So let's take a look at this. 70% K rate for Terang, 19.5 K rate for Contreras, 22% K rate for Yelich, 22 for Adames, 34 for Jake Bauers, Hoskins at 22, 20 for Frelick, 27 for Blake Perkins. I mean, that's 20, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, that's 20, that's 6. That's 7 out of 9 potential batters in this lineup that have 20% or more whiff rate versus right-handed pitching. Chris Bassitt on the season is a 9.6 K per inning guy. You can round that up to 1 if you want, but we're going to actually just multiply this out and see. Based off these pitching out odds, minus 138 to go over 17.5. So basically that's 18 pitching outs, which is 6 innings. You're going to times 0.96. And you're left with a 5.76 strikeout. That's closer to 6 than this one is. So it looks like 6 is the number for Chris Bassitt. In the event Chris Bassitt goes 7 innings, which he rarely does, you can probably add another strikeout to that, but it looks like 6 innings is his max. And then you would go from there. If his strikeouts got bumped to 6, which I don't see why they would, because there's no juice coming into that side. But if they got bumped up to 6, I would honestly stay away from him. Because even though he's gone 3 straight of 7, he has also gone under this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. So there's still more negative than positive there, even though the last 3 games look good. Lucky 7, right? Bling, bling, bling. Yeah, while it's at 5.5, I would definitely flirt with that one. Not Yelich. The Brewers versus righties. Let's see. All right, so Barrios does not get it done. Mize does not get it done. Reese Olson gets it done. We need 6 from Bassitt, so that would have gotten it done. Eric Fetty gets it done. Tanner Houck gets it done. Mitch Keller gets it done. Sonny Gray gets it done. Tyon, Wesneski, Eflin, Heel, Keller, Jones, Gray. So it's kind of like 50-50 right now. Lefties, you're seeing better numbers from lefties when they do go over. I mean, 10, 8, 8, 8. But a lot of these dudes aren't even touching it, right? Another 8 for Rodon, 7 for Garrett. I think 5.5 is a good line. I wouldn't wait for it to move. I would play it. At 6, I would probably stay away from it. Drip says, Caleb McBride, don't play no under with her. She a bucket. Not in the first half. First half, she was like 6 straight games of unders. Yesterday was a crazy game for her. I didn't watch that game, but I was so surprised when I looked at that line. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It's like, it's gonna happen. I mean, look at what happened to Asia Wilson yesterday. I mean, she's averaging 65 fantasy points, and she just had a below average game. She had less than 50 yesterday. It's gonna happen. The key is to not like play it. Just like to limit, like don't have those plays in your slip. It's gonna happen, but it doesn't mean it always has to happen to you. Oh, are you serious? Oh, look at that shit. Wow. I can't believe that one got bumped. Why did it get bumped? The odds aren't, I mean, there's no heavy juice. That's stupid. It doesn't matter. I stay away from it now. Honestly, 7.5 is ridiculous. That's too big of a reach. I was gonna say that if you're gonna play it at 6, he needs 7. He needs 8 there, right? So it's risky as hell, but you're already playing it at a higher line anyway, with no additional payout. That's crazy. And then our boy Bowers got taken off the board. Those plays have been on the board for a while though, so when I see them get taken off or bumped up at 10:30, 11 a.m., I'm not surprised. When they move earlier than that, I'm a little surprised. So yeah, I'm just scrolling real quick. I want to see if there's anything I missed or if there's anything we could possibly look at before we dip out. Cardozo is still at 6.5 rebounds on Sleeper. That's an under. Gleyber Torres over 1.5 total bases. I'm kind of developing like my own rule here where I have stayed away from the Orioles for about a week now. Anytime I see a player prop of theirs going for the under in terms of total bases or whatever, I just stay away from it. That team is hot, man. Henderson, Mountcastle, those guys are hot. Rushman. Oh, Vladimir's DNP. Is he really? He just got ruled out. Well, that would suck. But that would also, like what I tell you, every time I put this dude in my lineup, he finds a way to fuck it up. There's a great example of that. There's a great example of that. Just stay away from this guy, man. Vlad is out. Jeffers is out. Hoskins is out. Kepler is out. Diaz is out. Justin Turner and Joey Ortiz. Yeah, so I got him in like 3 slips, so now these become 5 picks. And the better promo that they had, I should get a refund on that one. So I'm sick of this dude. I'm just sick of this dude. He's just finding new ways to piss me off. So 6.5 was a really low line. It's a little low for him, but those slips are no longer valid. I wish I could refund those. That'd be great if I could just refund them, get my damn money back. But all right, I think that's gonna do it for today's stream. We broke down a bunch of plays. I don't know how many. We did talk some sleeper plays. We did talk PrizePicks mainly, but I put slips in the Discord for underdog, better, and PrizePicks. So wherever the value is, wherever I find the best plays, that's where I typically play. I don't really have an allegiance to any pick'em site. I just play the best lines. I want to collectively make profit. I don't care if I have a great game, a great day on underdog, and a bad day on PrizePicks, so long as I'm making profit and that the overall number is better than where it was when I started. That's all I care about. So if I have a bad day on all 3 pick'em sites, that's a bad day. But having a bad day on PrizePicks doesn't mean it's a bad day. It just means that PrizePicks didn't have it. So those are 3 player sites that I play on. So I'll be putting slips in the Discord today. But appreciate y'all stopping by. No stream tomorrow. I'll be back Friday morning with another live stream at 8:50. Hit the like button on your way out. Means a ton. If you haven't yet subbed up to the channel, sub up and make sure the notification icon is on so that you don't miss out on future streams. Like I said, we'll be back Friday morning, 8 a.m. with another Player Prop Talk live stream. And until that live stream, Chavez is out.